Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Hey there, we at IVM Podcast really enjoy consuming pop culture in all its form, and every once in a while we sit down and talk about it amongst ourselves, except we do it on a podcast called IVM Likes, where we talk about stuff we're currently reading, watching or listening to. We recommend these to you so you can also check them out maybe in your free time. So episodes are out every Monday. You can listen to them on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app literally out there. Have fun.
You're listening to Keeping It Queer with Navin Noronha.
Hello and welcome to Keeping It Queer, everybody. And today in the studio with me, I have two special guests who are not gay. For a change, we are mixing it up.
I'm not sure about Siddharth.
No. I am completely straight. This guy is wrongly publicizing me.
But that will help for the movie, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
The movie in question this time is LOEV, LOEV.
Yes.
That's right.
Directed by Sudhanshu Sarya, who
Yes.
everybody calls Suds.
Yes.
And
Suds.
Suds, okay. And produced by Bombay Berlin Productions.
Yep.
Arfi Lamba is a part of that.
Yes.
That's right.
And he has his own episode, by the way, right now on our own network.
Oh, really?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Where Indu Mirani talks to actors who stole the show,
Right.
called Bollywood Scene Stealers.
Oh, nice.
So Arfi obviously was really encouraging and wanted to have you all on the show because I want to know what's it like, first of all, to get into the skin of a gay character, because that's not something that we really see in Indian cinema so much.
Yeah.
And now that the movie is making so much of name in terms of going to different film festivals, so I'm a big fan of both of y'all. First of all,
Thank you.
I don't know
Thank
if you
you
can
so
tell
much.
how much I'm blushing already, but Shiv from the FIR days,
Yeah.
I've been a fan. I don't know how embarrassed you are of FIR.
No, I'm not actually.
You shouldn't be, because a lot of people are like, "What happened to FIR?" But then when you were there,
Right.
the show was amazing. Let me just
No,
tell you.
sorry, you was talking about FIR.
Yeah.
The thing is that I loved doing that show. It was great. And surprisingly, when I was on the show, no one gave a shit about me. But whenever, the moment I left, everyone was like, "Arey, why did you leave?" I was like, "Really? You actually used to like me doing that?" But surprisingly, I mean, that's how I think that's how audiences' memory works. So, like, in a sense, when I was doing FIR, people used to come up and tell me that, "Oh, you can speak in English," because I was playing a really ghati kind of character. But having said that, great learning experience and had a great time on it. And thank you, I mean, for the love that you've shown even after so many years by telling me.
Yeah,
that
because I used to do that with my friends. I used to just keep on repeating the lines, like with whatever Gulgule said.
Yeah, correct.
Chandramukhi Chautala. Yeah, big fan. And then I watched you in Shaitan, obviously, and again, blown over by Shaitan. That's the first impression I had again,
Right.
like, how can Shiv Pandit be playing that character of a policeman who's always chewing pan,
Right.
and also be playing this character, which is so
that really
alt.
worked in my favor. In fact, one of the reasons I left FIR was because, let's not get into any names, but I got a feature film in the lead with a really big director who's going to be a very big director, who's a big film critic also.
Okay.
And
I think we narrowed it down already.
yeah, pretty much. But I was very upset with this. That's why I'm trying to leave a little bit of a red herring here and there. But the thing was that when I went to sign my film, after all the auditions, etc., so he goes to me that, "You never told me you're on television." I said, "Sir, so I thought that's one of the reasons you want to cast me, right?"
Yeah.
He said, no, you're too overexposed and all. So then like, I can't sign you. So can you believe it? From actually getting a big break, I was told that, "Please, you stick to TV." And I said, "Ab main dikha ke, I'll show it to these guys." So I waited at home for about a good year and a half, and I wanted to choose the right project. And I think Shaitan worked in my favor because FIR was so dramatically different, and Shaitan was such a different thing. So
Correct.
to be able to pull off that character, I think really helped me.
Yeah, man, the scene where you beat yourself with the belt, I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I really went for it.
We also have Siddharth Menon here.
Yes.
Siddharth, sorry if you felt left out.
No,
Because
not
I was
at all.
fanboying so much.
No, it's fine.
But Siddharth, I saw you in Peddlers. It's
Oh,
a
you
great
did?
movie. Yes, I did. And I'm a good friends with Sachin Kunalkar. He's a
Oh,
filmmaker.
yeah.
I saw Rajwade and Sons as
Oh,
well.
oh, lovely,
Yeah,
lovely.
so Siddharth is a brilliant young actor.
He's a brilliant actor.
Yes,
In fact, I
yes.
don't tell him
Thank you.
this often, but
Thank
I'm
you.
only
If you
lying.
stop
Right.
accusing him of being gay, then probably you'll tell him something nice. On
No,
set.
it's not that. He says that I have.
Why does Shiv feel like I depend on him for confidence?
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's just that I've never actually acknowledged it in public, but I will today, that he's a terrific actor, and I'm so glad I got to actually work with him.
Yes.
Likewise, brother, likewise.
So as we said,
I
the
was
film
lying.
in question is Love. Quickly, can you tell us what the movie is about?
Love is a love story.
Yeah.
which happens
First
to
and
be between two men. And I think the reason for that byline
Three
is
men. Sorry.
Three, sorry,
Yeah.
I keep forgetting you.
Yeah, man.
So
You can never keep a count, can you?
I can't.
Yeah.
It's like too much of a massive orgy going on. No, but the thing is, it's actually a love story and happens to be between two men, three men.
Three men.
And that's a kind of a byline, like a by the by, because I think this film was more about the emotions felt between human beings and people as opposed to their sexual, their gender, and I think that was one of the reasons which drew me to the script, that you could actually literally replace the men with women, or you could mix up some men and women in there.
Yeah, you can have two women and a guy, or two guys and a girl. So
That would not that would leave the script untampered.
Yeah.
Because for me, the script was extremely logically sound, was very precise, very nuanced, and also the script actually spoke to me volumes. It didn't it didn't get into me like you asked some time back, that how is it playing a gay character. I don't think I ever conditioned myself in a way that I'd be playing a gay character. I was just playing a character who was madly in love with another character called Sahil, who happens to be a guy. Now, I don't mean this with any disrespect, but you see, the thing is, I think I've always believed that people should live and let live, and it does not matter whether you're gay or you're straight or you're bi. You should really just be able to love someone for who they are and what they are,
Correct.
without
Emotions
getting into
matter.
the politics of it.
Yeah.
And I think as actors, we need to be that way. Because we can't judge the character. We can only judge if this script is good or bad. To me. And for me, and for Shiv, and for Dhruv as well, the script was brilliant. That's it. It. We're all looking for great scripts and great stories to tell. And the best part was, I still remember Sudhanshu sent me the script. I read the script, and I went halfway through the script. And then that's when I realized that, are these characters gay? And then I went back and then I told him, I said, I didn't realize they were gay until a certain point in the script. Like, he left hints, but I was like, fine, this can happen between straight
That's
guys.
beautiful,
This
right? Because Bollywood or Indian film industry in general does not have a great idea how to portray gay characters.
Yeah.
Like, if you see, it's always the sidekick who's the campy character, bright colors.
Exactly.
So he screams gay.
Some weird background music.
Yeah.
Which is so...
And which is in like passing, it's hilarious, but then when you go back to it, kids use that to torment other gay kids when they're younger.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like the Pyar Kiya Darna Kya, that character in that movie, like everybody used that for the longest time on me, and I was like, guys, come on, can we all mature?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of it, because if you have a character that's not kind of like वो दायरे में नहीं है.
No, but you've hit the nail on the head. At that particular instant, it seems funny. It seems hilarious. But the repercussions of that and the consequences of that,
we don't realize.
You don't realize it. In fact, someone somewhere is getting affected by it and is getting hurt by it. Now, of course, you can attribute that to when kids are in school. There's a certain sense of maturity which they're still lacking, and which comes over time.
Correct.
And I'm not saying कि मैं दूध का धोला हूँ. I'm sure I've made mistakes, many mistakes.
We all have.
We all have. But I think देर आए दुरुस्त आए. If you can at least get into conditioning yourself in a way that you should, if you have feelings, if you can get hurt when someone makes fun of you, then vice versa. So
and then it's important to have characters who are openly gay in that movie, for example.
Yeah.
But because when a kid watches that again, like a gay kid, as I said, would watch that and be like, oh, one day I can have that. I can have a love story of my own with a guy, and nobody make two shits about that.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, for example, when I was growing up, I watched Milk, which is Harvey Milk's life, with Sean Penn.
Yeah.
And I was really inspired by the movie because it didn't make a hullabaloo about the fact that he was gay, but a man trying to make a change for people like him.
It was about the story of a man. It wasn't the story of a gay man. Again, you see, that's the beauty of these films, which is not concentrating on their sexual orientation or
but it's a part of it. You have to live with that.
Yeah.
It's like just a very simple example. If you're showing your character is poor, the film is not about poverty. It is about that character, what he faces in his life. Now, this poor guy doesn't necessarily have the same feelings or isn't necessarily the same character as another poor guy. Each person is different. And I think the biggest challenge for us with this film was not to get into the skin of a gay character, but to really hit those emotional notes which needed to be hit, because the script was so tight. It was so tight. I've never read a tighter script than this so far in my life. And
this is first movie altogether, right? Sudhanshu's?
Sudhanshu's first feature.
First,
Feature.
he's done a short film which was titled His New Hands, which also went all around the world, and that sort of paved the way for him to do this film. But yeah, this is his first film, and I think.
And everybody at Mami was raving about it.
Yeah, Mami. Even I went to Kerala with him, International Film Festival of Kerala in Trivandrum, and it was wow. The response was just. I don't have words. It was too overwhelming.
So the movie is now out on Netflix.
Yes.
It's been acquired by Netflix worldwide.
Yes.
So everybody in the world can see.
Yes.
And it's amazing. I think it's a milestone for Indian film.
Yeah, it's a
cinemas.
huge deal for us because I mean, I'm already been getting now messages from on social media from like Mexico, Brazil, people in Spain have been seeing it. So I mean, slowly, people are getting to watch it, and that's terrific, man.
Correct. And there's a road trip involved in the movie. What's a road trip all about?
So essentially what happens is the two characters, Jay and Sahil, and Jay is a guy who's like an investment banker from Manhattan, and Sahil and Alex are these two guys who are in a relationship in Mumbai.
And we're living in together in Mumbai.
I like how you like Mumbai. Correct that way.
I know, I love the other name for
okay,
it.
Shiv Pandit doesn't listen to our podcast.
Okay, great.
Bombay.
So the thing is that so they decided to take a road trip because Jay is this out of towner kind of guy, and Sahil wants to show him a good time.
And your character's uptight a little bit because investing.
He's actually, I think, he's actually closeted in a lot of ways because I think being Indian, being brown, and being in the States, I don't think he has the luxury, or at least allows himself the luxury to be absolutely open about who he is and what he feels from inside about his sexual orientation and which way he leans. Also, I think he's slightly orthodox in his own ways. He's got like a mother to look after. He's got sister over there, etc., etc. So I don't know if he's comfortable in his own skin. So I think for me, my trajectory in this film was more about coming to terms with who I am and what I am, and being comfortable with that. So that road trip kind of is a very big turning point in the film because it kind of isolates these two characters in a place called Mahabaleshwar. And what goes down there is actually quite interesting.
And which is also again very interesting because the Western Ghats are hardly ever covered in. I think they're beautiful because if you look at it from the seaside, it's just like a massive wall stretching for miles and miles. And the poster of the movie again is very interesting. It's just two rocks and two guys in between. And that was
the most irritating place to go to because it was called Sandhan Valley or Samdhan Valley, and the rocks there were like shaped like spears. So like there was no flat rocks. So like regardless of how thick soled shoes you were wearing, you were stepping on like points or spear pointed rocks, and we had to trek down for 2.5 hours. By the time we reached there, we were dead to the world. And on the way back, we had a flood because that whole ravine got flooded with rain. So we were walking back with like neck high water. And when I mean neck high,
and there's sharp rocks below you.
And falling down. And when I'm saying neck high, I'm exaggerating because actually it was up till my eyes.
And you're a tall guy. You're a very tall guy.
And so people were swimming. People were swimming back. It was that
equipment got wet.
Equipment got damaged, and so. But I guess in some way that it led to something very interesting because like you, a lot of people have really liked that image a lot.
It paid off obviously. So when you show everybody, like if you are an actor and you tell people that my movie's out, and there's a poster with two guys kissing on it, how do you tell people to what is the judgment you've got so far?
I've had people saying "chi," and I've told them that I was only thinking of you. So
I've got questions like first of all it's back facing, right? So it's Dhruv and Shiv. So I got a question like, did you really kiss that guy? And I'm like, no, that's not me, but if I was supposed to, I would have
done. Correct.
So they're like, asking me if I was interested in kissing you.
No, but I'm not interested.
He just replaced himself.
I like the way, yaar. Jahan na pehchan ghus gaye kahin se.
Alright, let's take a small break here. I will be back with some more questions for you guys. Alright? We're keeping it queer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Who's ahead in the league and what's cooking off the pitch? We at TFG bring all that you need to know about Indian football. Discussions, debate, banter, in-depth analysis with a touch of fun and fandom. This is the TFG Indian Football Podcast and we're a daily show. So check us out on YouTube and various other podcasting apps like iTunes, Audioboom, SoundCloud, etc.
Welcome back to Keeping It Queer, and I'm here in conversation with Shiv and Siddharth.
Yes.
I'm not
Hello.
taking your second names because you're already famous now. Everybody knows
Shiv
you.
is good enough.
Sid is also good. Shiv and Sid.
I'm trying some new numerology stuff, so maybe at least someone
She-
told me to just try Shiv,
With
like
two Vs.
Irfan. Just try Shiv.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you because there's also romance involved. Like,
Right.
As you said, you don't think about the character so much as the emotions involved.
Right.
But you still have to like involve physically with another man. And given the fact that you're a straight actor again, how did you get into that skin of the character? How did that mold happen?
The thing is, see, this is a very tricky topic because, I mean, if you speak on it in even the slightest way incorrectly, someone can get offended. Now, of course, there's a huge discussion on this topic, and I would like to say, at least from the eyes of a slightly uninformed straight man, because I think straight men have no idea as to the kind of problems, the community has been going through. But I can just say, at least in the last 10 years, I can see that there's more acceptance, there's more respect, there is way more love, and there's way more, the attitude towards this whole, the representation of the community has changed. Well, it may be in our films and may it be in actually people publicly going out and making content like this. So for me, I think I didn't try to get into the fact that I had to be with another man. I think on some level, maybe that could have been because if I started thinking that I had to be with another man, maybe it might have freaked me out. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, But I tried to keep that out of my head as much as possible. In fact, I kept it out of my head so much that I don't know how much sense I'm making right now, but I literally used to just think of Sahil as the person I'm in love with. I never thought about the fact that he's gay, he's a guy and he's got a penis or whatever it is. I literally used to just think about the fact that there's a guy I'm in love with and I'm super pissed off with him and I'm super into him and he doesn't reciprocate my feelings. So it just was about just loving this guy. It wasn't about that he's a guy. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You
but
make complete sense, yeah. But because you gone to the whole
yeah,
mindset
because
that you have to love this person.
I think I can admit very openly and freely that yes, if I got into the sexuality of it, I probably would have been freaked out. Yeah. And I think as an actor, that's the last thing you want.
A lot of actors we have seen over the years chicken out of important gay roles because they're like.
Because I think luckily in my case, the trick what I did for myself was I didn't get into thinking that I'm going to be getting sexually involved with another guy. I think if I thought about it in that way, I would have probably chickened out. I probably would have chickened out. But because I didn't think of it in that way, because I completely got into the fact that there's a guy I'm in love with, I'm upset, I'm feeling a variety and range of emotions.
Correct.
I think that kind of helped me in focusing on what was the requirement of the script. Even there are a lot of graphic scenes in this. Apart from, of course, there's a little bit of there's sexual scenes, there's kissing, there's all kinds of stuff in the film. But if I even for the slightest moment thought that I'm going to be kissing a guy, you know what I'm saying, I would have that would be an incorrect assessment of from my side for this film.
But I agree with Shiv, but I won't lie.
When
I read unfortunately I just got to peck Shiv on the cheek, which was
He
was
sent
fine.
me a text message saying, "Are you lonesome tonight?"
So the thing is that I did get scared because but then I think that was necessary. It had to happen for me to say that. No, I mean, why is this freaking me out? How is this any different? Because I'm in a committed relationship right now. If I had to kiss another girl, it should freak me out equally, right?
Yeah.
So why am I making this bias? So there's no need to. And again, I'm all credit to Sudhanshu. The script when we were shooting, and plus the takes were really long. Like sometimes you would have scenes which are 15-minute long scenes in one take. So to get all that, to get all those beats right, your mind was just consumed in it completely. And I think that was such an enriching feeling as an actor. You just went back home after a day's shoot
Feeling
completely
happy.
satisfied.
I mean, it's easier said than done that, we're actors, we're supposed to be inhibition-less and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's very easier said than done, and that's probably a PR kind of a shop talk to say. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, right?
And we have
And I remember seeing Monsoon Wedding many years ago, and I saw this kiss on I saw this kiss on the rooftop with, I think, Parveen Dabbas and somebody else, and I found it horrific. I mean, I love Parveen, but I didn't like the way this kiss was shot. I didn't appreciate the kiss looked very
forced, rather.
No, it looked very cardboardy, if you will. So I kind of decided that day that
I wouldn't tell Parveen Dabbas that now. He's an MMA fighter now. You know that, right?
Really?
Yeah, he's badass as fuck.
Really? Are you serious?
Really? He's an MMA fighter?
Yeah, he does an entire podcast on MMA as well. So he's done his own training in regard to that. Have you seen him? He's bulked up now.
No, I haven't. But anyway, I mean, now maybe I should. Can you edit that? Can you edit that? It was someone else from some other film. But the point is that I decided that day. So it's a subjective medium. I can have my own opinion, right?
No, I agree with you. The monsoon wedding kiss was not that.
I didn't. Okay, I personally didn't care for it, and I told myself, bro, if ever I have to do any kind of smoochy woochie on screen, then I have to make it look real as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I basically said, ladka ho ya ladki, I have to go full
blast.
I have to go full go the whole hog. And see, it's what is it? Art is a representation of reality. Now, if I am looking even the slightest, even 99.9%, if I'm slightly off the ball in terms of I'm not convinced about what I'm doing, the audience is so smart, they'll immediately find out that kitni gandi acting kar raha hai. And that's why the audiences in the country all over the world, they become so smart because of the plethora of content there is there. You have to be on the ball. You have to be ultra convinced about what you're doing, because if you're convinced, trust me, regardless of what you think in your head, if you're convinced what you're doing, the audience will believe what you're doing. So I wanted to make sure, that I just go out there.
I was giving Sean Penn's example, right? Great actor, you respect him. And when you see Milk, you're convinced that when he and James Franco are making out, they both seem that they're in love, but both of them are straight. But you get to forget for a second that Sean Penn is actually a clinically weird person because he beat up Madonna and all that. But for a second, I forgot about that. I was like, this character.
And that's the mark of a great actor. And more than great actor, that's the mark of a completely selfless actor. Because you have to be able to break down those barriers, and you have to be able to say that fuck this, I'm going to go out, do it. And because trust me, it's such a liberating feeling. You can literally forget about the fact that whether you're gay, straight whatever. Go out there at the demand of the script, and like Sid was saying, there was such long takes, 16-minute long takes or a cut, and it's a very choreographed performance because you have to hit the right light at this point, that point. So you have to be ultra focused during those takes. And when that take ends and the whole room erupts in in clapping, and so then that you've hit the nail, on the head, and that's a great feeling.
Okay, so let's talk about characters now. From what I've gathered from the trailer and from synopsis, is that both of you all are very widely polar in terms of you're more like an investment banker who's very
so I'm playing a much older character than what I am in real life. So I'm playing like a 39-year-old investment banker.
Okay, so you're a sugar daddy.
Kind of, pretty much. And that comes up in the film, so you should so that's something which we have
caught on. It's my area of expertise, actually.
Oh, really?
Don't ask.
And so the director wanted a complete contrast in terms of the worlds that these characters belong to, like Sahil and physicality. So I'm much more bulked up in the film. Sahil and Alex are very, very lean. Their dressing sense is very different from what I am. Their financial...
We're early 20s,
and their financial situation is much more different than what I am. So the director wanted contrast in terms of everything, color palettes, physicality, finances, emotion.
That's a mark of a brilliant director also. Because I saw the lighting, the music, everything is so thematic and so tied together in that regard.
Yeah, I gotta say, Sudhanshu really knew what he wanted, and I think it's a great, I think Sid will agree with me, it's great as an actor to work with someone who knows what they want.
Exactly. And he's giving you the right tools, because all these are tools for an actor. The costume, the setting, the shot, even the shot taking, the locations, the words, the music, everything. And he gave us so much to play with. We were like small kids with building blocks, it was really...
And what is Alex all about in the movie?
Alex is, as you said, we are completely poles apart, Jay and Alex. And actually even Sahil and Alex are poles apart. Alex is just on a completely different planet altogether. He is flamboyant and he's shameless. And he is rude, but he's sarcastic, but at the same time he's kind, at the same time he's generous. And actually on the face of it, you will feel that this guy is just funny, or he's just superficial, he's just two-dimensional, he doesn't give a shit. But actually from all the three characters in the film, he is the most strongest emotionally, because he is completely in love with Sahil.
Correct.
And he's accepted Sahil the way he is. But he's so mature that he loves Sahil, and he knows you have to let your love go. You can't hold anybody. And no matter how much Sahil holds him, he understands the fact that, I shouldn't be doing this. I have to let him go if he's going. And if he comes back, it's fine.
Yeah.
So when I read the script, because he comes in at the beginning, and then these two take off, and then he comes back. And he comes back with so much baggage, but he doesn't show it, but he shows it.
That's true. I know
And,
a lot of my friends who do that as well.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of gay men go through a lot of stuff before they actually mature, and then they decide to have a easier take on life. They laugh, but inside they carry so much. And as we see from the previous episodes on this podcast itself, that the most chirpiest people have had the most scarring backgrounds. So I think it's beautiful to transition that. On the screen.
It was difficult because that's what Sudhanshu told me. He said, your character is in the script the least written about. So you have to bring that out. You really need to dig in. So we really dug into his past and how he became like this and what he feels. What did he do when he is not in the film? When he's not being seen in the film, what is he doing at that point?
Correct.
What is he doing? Drugs and passed out at his place, or is he banging some other guy, or what is he doing? So,
but he wouldn't. You're saying,
but his character, like you rightly said, a lot of gay men, they actually push their feelings deep down inside because of who do they talk to about it. I mean, let's be honest about it. It's such a tricky subject to actually because you're scared about the fact if you actually open up to someone, they'll mock you and make fun of you.
Exactly.
But this character is so beyond all this. He's so confident as a human being. He's such a large-hearted character, Alex, that he is actually the epitome of I don't give a fuck. And he lives his life in that way. He's accepted his partner, he lets him roam around and go away and come back, whatever. But Alex's character is actually the fun character and the more aspirational character. Like if there was a gay man who's coming to terms with his sexuality and trying to figure out how does he want to find his place in society, I think Alex would be a great representation of what that you should aspire to be at that level of confidence and emotionality.
True. Since we're talking about characters, I think we should talk about Sahil, since unfortunately Sahil is not with us today. Each one is going through a different struggle. Like Shiv's character, Jay, he's trying to accept, he's trying to come out. We both have accepted, we've come out, we have our families and everything sorted. I'm somewhere trying to balance the relationship. Sahil is, I think...
And the families know about each other, right?
We've not shown, but when we were shooting the thing, we sort of decided for ourselves that we don't have any coming out problems, issues as such. But I think Sahil, he's extremely charming, he's extremely good looking, and he's extremely sorted. But
and he's a big time cock tease.
Yeah. But at the same time, he is so ridiculously immature.
Yeah.
And that is the conflict of the film.
So he's like the pendulum which keeps oscillating from one side to the other.
Correct. And Jay and Sahil have a history also in that regard.
We won't. We need to watch the film.
We'll just let you watch the film.
Definitely. So we will watch it. It's on Netflix. We'll take a small break now again and come back with an important question. I have a very important question for you guys. Okay, let's take a small break.
Hello listeners, my name is Munaf Kapadia.
And I am Nabil Merchant. We are the co-hosts of the show My Neighbor Zuckerberg.
On this show, we invite ordinary people who have extraordinary stories to share.
Tales of creativity, persistence and struggle. We call them entrepreneurs.
Tune in every Monday to listen to their journeys. We are available on iTunes, Audio Boom and the IVM podcast app.
Alright, back again on Keeping It Queer. I'm in conversation with Shiv and Sid. Okay.
Yeah.
I've given up all the formalities at this point. Right.
Yeah,
so the question I had in mind was, I've seen over the years whenever Bollywood tried to be bold about portraying a gay character as like the normalcy of it, like Sameer Soni played it in fashion. Then we had My Brother Nikhil where Sanjay Surya and Purab Kohli were involved. And it's called a gay curse in Bollywood, wherein like a lot of people who play gay characters eventually end up not doing much in Bollywood because they fade out, because people are, how they are. And do you ever feel that fear that, somewhere down the line you'll have to pay for this in
No, not at all. I mean, I looked at this film like an exciting, like nobody in there. See, nobody has ever approached me with a character like this. So I was like, why the hell not? And I really don't get. I think rules are meant to be broken, times have meant to be changed, and perceptions are meant to be changed and molded. You have to be. You can't be like, "Arey, isko ho gaya, to mere ko hoga." So I mean, frankly, maybe you're right. Maybe I might get cursed, but I don't care. I'm very proud of what I did. I'm very happy I was able to put out a decent and a very correct, at least our endeavor, a good representation of the community and of the characters like this go through without mocking them.
Exactly.
So not at all. I'm very proud of this film.
Yeah, same here. I agree with Shiv completely. I completely agree with Shiv because that fear as an actor is always there. You're going to hit one wrong note, and that can be any note, right? Not necessarily playing a gay character. That can be just a bad film or some bad TV or some your stars are bad and some controversy comes up in your life and you're finished. So that can happen anyway. So might as well just do what you're convinced about. And if you're going down, eventually it's fate, bro.
See, also we guys, I mean, at least Sid and me, we don't like really, I would say we're both outsiders to the industry. We don't really what I mean by that is, I mean, a lot of the industry is outsiders, but we're not
there's
like...
no nepotism for you.
No, but yeah, exactly. So
to leech on.
Yeah, exactly. Why wasn't my dad a director? Papa. So anyway, the point is that, so we had to make it on our own. And I think with people like Siddharth and me, we don't really have the option of a second chance. So I think with us, we have to keep taking risks with every film, keep reinventing ourselves so that the audience who's watching us, kind of doesn't get bored of what we're doing and kind of get settled in. Ye to yahi kar sakta hai. So we have to keep reinventing, and we have to be, for want of a better word, I mean, we have to be extremely versatile with our choices. So this is an endeavor in that direction.
And it's all a big risk as it is, this industry, it is. So why play safe in a risky business? I mean, if you're risking everything as it is, just go ahead and
But the risk
do
paid off, right? The risk paid off. And now Netflix is acquiring the movie.
And Netflix, this is like not even like an acquisition by Netflix India. This is like a Netflix exclusive LA Netflix acquisition for 180 countries worldwide release.
And
so how
many? 22 languages, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a bigger release. Can you believe it? People always say, in the industry there's a line which I think everyone will relate to. Everyone says कि हर film की अपनी destiny होती है, है ना? तो ये जो film थी, ये believe it or not, when we were shooting it, we all thought कि ये हमारे DVD library के लिए बनेगी in the living room. Sudhanshu Sarya's living room. There'll be a screening and that's about it. This one film has made me travel more than any of my other films. Has been released and has reached out to people way more than any of my other films. This one small film. I mean, I've done other films as well, which have been bigger in budget and scale. But this is one film which has actually been reached. I've traveled to 19 countries because of this film. Yeah, so Netflix actually saw this film because we were like the first Indian film to be accepted in a really huge film festival in America called South by Southwest, which happens in Austin, Texas. And I think Netflix saw the film there. And they've been trying to crack a deal with Sudhanshu
since the past year.
Past 7-8 months. And we've really worked hard on this deal. And it's a big win for us, this whole thing. Yeah.
It's the beauty of the fact that there's alternate cinema now and there's alternate mediums for cinema.
Exactly.
We don't have to go to a theatre and sit and waste $500. But
and also the director's vision will not get tampered when it's on Netflix. I mean, we see that there are a lot of people out there, but some legit, some non-legit, who keep tom-tomming about the fact that because of the censorship certification body that we have in this country. So we want to avoid that conversation altogether because we were more focused on getting the director's vision out there. And Netflix allows us to do that.
And given the kind of youngsters we have now who wouldn't rather go for a movie but download something illegally, you have the option of
watching. Just subscribe to Netflix. It's only $600 a month.
And the first month is free. So if you don't want to pay $600 a month,
and how has become a Netflix plug?
I know, first 3 months free हो गया है.
अभी 1 month किया उन्होंने.
अच्छा 1 month कर
वो 3 का 1 हो गया यार.
जैसे भी है देख लो. और भी अच्छी shows. But yeah, so the last question I really want to touch on is that if you ever want to suggest some other actors who are now going to be, taking on roles like these, what would you tell them? What would your advice be to them?
See, my only advice to them would be just treat it as any other film. Don't think, oh, this is a gay film, or this falls in this bracket, or this will go in only this festival. I don't think we live in an era where you can put anything in brackets and in categories. I think just listen to your heart. If you feel this is genuine, you feel this is the right way it's been portrayed, you believe in it, just go all out as you do in any other film. Just do that. Because I think zyada sochne se na, you just, I don't know, you and I don't believe in all this कि ये करूँगा तो my career will be over, और मैं अगर regional cinema करूँगा तो हिंदी फिल्मों में कोई मुझे नहीं लेगा. I think it's all in the head.
And it's also important because Ellen DeGeneres came out 20 years ago close to this date when we're recording. And her coming out created a massive movement in America where a lot of people are like, okay, we can have a primetime actor be gay and we can okay with that. But in India, we never really got that chance. Like we don't have, for example, if Hrithik or Salman played a gay character, for example, tomorrow, then there'll be so much of confidence for others who are watching them to be okay with that. But you see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, we never really get to see a bigger icon than what we get, Like if an Elton John, for example, is okay about talking about this, why don't we have a musician who's okay talking about this? The reason is that it's so entrenched in a society that people don't see beyond the block. So that's one thing.
No, but I aspire for a world in which people's introductions cease to be, he is so-and-so and by the way he's gay.
Exactly.
I aspire for a world where people's introduction completely cease to be about the sexuality.
Like he is so-and-so and he is that so-and-so.
And and I think we're moving in that direction.
Yeah, we are.
I know we're a long way off from there.
But
and not only India, all over the world.
Yeah.
But I think I've always loved this line and I've always used it I try to live by it. I live and let live. I really don't get into too much other people's business so much, and I don't get, because I think we should be able to do what we want to do.
True.
That's what a free country is about, and that's what free speech is all about, and that's what this love is all about. Love should be. Love is limitless and boundless.
Love is complicated as well.
Love is complicated as hell, and that's why it is beautiful. If it wasn't complicated, I don't think it would. We wouldn't learn anything. It wouldn't grow. We would just be stagnated.
So very, very. I'm going through some shit myself personally, but I wouldn't burden you all with my bullshit.
But we all are going through shit all. But actually, that is what I want to say.
But I think it's very interesting that at least you, I think in your own way, I don't know whether this has helped you or not, but I think by talking about it on radio or by completely involving yourself in something like that, I think gives you an outlet. I think people should actually take a leaf from your book and realize that it's not all as bad as it seems. Sometimes you least expect it. The last person you probably expect can come out there and help you out in a time of trouble and turmoil. And most of the times people don't know who to turn to. They're so internalized completely. So
I mean, I just want to say that you said you're going through shit, right? I mean, who is not going through shit?
Definitely.
But your shit is different from my shit. But whenever I'm going through shit, I think this is what I've learned to do, to say that I'm not alone. There's a million people in this room and they all have a different struggle. Struggle doesn't leave anybody in this world.
So I don't know what happened. When the movie ka trailer came out, someone shared it with me and said look, this looks like a movie on long distance relationships, so it'll probably interest you because I am in a long distance relationship. And it's been so for the past 9-8 months. And now it's in a point where, so I watched the trailer and I was like, no, it's not long distance. But anyways, the point being that, so now my long distance relationship has actually taken a toll on me, and my boyfriend and I, though we love each other so much, we are like, maybe it's not going to head anyway, because I can't leave what I have here and I can't leave. So now we are amicably saying, let's just, disintegrate.
But that's a very difficult decision to take.
And it's taken a toll on me, obviously. And I said, but then it makes me realize that what I have with him, the memories that I have with him, will always be there. And being amicable about it is the best way to go about it, instead of like trashing and being bitchy.
It seems, something in time to come, time is a great healer. But in time to come, you will look back on this time and you say, I took a decision for the best. But when you're in the middle of it, in the thick of it, life sucks.
But who's to say, maybe you both will come together in the same place
eventually
in the future.
We have come together before, but then I'm talking.
I'm sure you have multiple times.
Yes.
So lowballing right.
See, I told you, he's quite interested.
No, it's nice,
Inshallah, let's hope everything goes well. But Love is complicated, but Love is also a movie starring Shiv Pandit, Dhruv Ganesh and Siddharth Menon, and it's on Netflix. Please check it out. It's a beautiful film. And to all the listeners out there, if you ever feel like you want to talk to somebody, we're always there. We always listen.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And even if you're not on the show, me and Shiv are on social media. Please
get in
reach
touch,
out to us.
Yeah. And that's our show, guys. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much for listening to us.
Yes, and
कोई सुनता ही नहीं हमारी बात.
And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if you enjoyed the show, you can listen to more of it on any of the podcasting apps you like. You can look out for us on Audio Boom, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, Beyond Pod. But if you're looking for us on the iTunes India store, you might have a bit of a trouble finding us because of the language used on the show. So be sure to change your location and then listen to us. For now, it's me, Navin Noronha, signing off. Goodbye. Thank you so much. And please continue keeping it queer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts
to get some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.